Get therapy.
I'm not ready.
Get therapy.
What's going on, WikiManiacs? How's it going today? Welcome back to a Wednesday live stream with your boys, Josh and John. What's going on, John?
Everyone, please just objectify the hell out of Josh. Look at that hair, baby. That looks good. See, Lena already commented on it.
Wow.
First thing I said to him, Lena, moment like our cameras turn on, I was like, damn, you looking sexy, brother.
Well, which is crazy because I showered last night after I got home from flying in and then just fell asleep. So this is just woke up like this, not even.
Oh, that's a flex. That's a flex. You just woke up like that. Can't relate. I fixed myself up and I still look like shit. How you do that?
See, I think I look worse when I try to actually do stuff with my hair. You know what I mean? When you try and fix it and just, it does whatever it wants. So.
What's that like? Don't know what it feels like to have good genes.
Well, hair genes for now anyway. Knock on wood. Hopefully that doesn't go anywhere. The forehead does keep getting bigger every year, so.
I ain't taking my cap off, Lena. My shit's fucked up right now, bro.
Well, I can't wear my Leafs hat anymore, so it's a rough weekend. So I see people on the comment section going in. Thank you, Stevie, for bringing that up. But yesterday, while Josh was flying in the air, there was an incident that happened. We joked around about it in the past already, that some channel was stealing our content. But yesterday ticked me off a little bit more than it did more than it did actually. And then I sent it to the boys. Josh was probably flying still, so he had no idea what was going on. But I told Sean. But basically, that channel, not even going to endorse them or anything, they reposted one of our videos that we did for our campaign with Operation Olive Branch. And they repurposed it, right? And the part that ticked me off the most is that they turned on the super thanks portion on that video. So if for people who are not on YouTube more frequent, basically, if you turn on that option, like you have the option to give a creator like tips, right? Like monetary. And they turned that on and they've been disguising as us for the longest periods of time. And of course that campaign has ended for a while, but we still have a PayPal option to be able to donate to families in Gaza still. But I found that extremely disappointing and extremely disgusting. Gross. Yeah. Cause
it's like, y'all know us. Anytime we get tips from the WikiManiacs, we don't keep none of that shit. Like we make sure that goes to charity. And that's messed up behavior for me because then like, they obviously have a bigger audience than we do, which is pretty sad.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy. And like, if they get that much audience and they get to pocket that, that's fucked up because we want that to go to where people need it more, right? And it's gross. Like and y'all know me, I have ADHD, and when I get obsessed with something, my job is to like fucking obsess with that shit. So I enlisted everybody on the Discord channel. So I appreciate every single one of y'all. This is Josh. If you're an Avengers fan, right? It is exactly that scene when Captain America was just chilling. I was like Captain Philippines, baby. I was like WikiManiacs assemble, and that motherfucking came out everywhere, bro.
Yeah, we landed because I was coming in from BC, so we landed. I have like 1,000 notifications on Discord. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So, oh my gosh.
So huge thanks to our community at WikiManiacs for jumping to the call and reporting. John's been copyright striking, so
all day. And I'm sorry, there was a lot of people on the WikiManiacs on the Discord who gave us links on how to do that. So I've been obsessively doing that. My sole job is to take those motherfuckers down. Yeah. And I will not rest because I am high on meds right now and I will not fucking take a break, baby. I got the crazy highs. My sole job is to annihilate them.
So, someone, I forget who, was it you talking to me, John, that they actually used to do this to Two Hot Takes?
Yes, because
Yeah.
if you
The
kind
same
of
channel.
if you kind of hover over their channel in the past, their before ours, their was it PFP, like the profile picture? It
Yeah.
was a screenshot of like Morgan and I believe another co-host. So they've been doing this shit for a while.
Yeah. So it's pretty gross. Like it was one thing to, repost our videos or whatever. I know a lot of people on YouTube have found us through that, which is like great. Even though it's like, yeah, we got those views, but we were fine with that. But it was when they started like, reposted our charity post and
that's just wrong.
Taking money from that. That's when it was like, okay,
that's fucking hella wrong.
That's
I do want to shout out like one fellow Reddit stories creator. Shout out Sarby. They came into like they commented onto our Instagram post that we made, and then they also posted one on their YouTube channel, and they have a pretty big community as well. So
awesome.
A lot of their audience came rallying in. So shout out Sarby. Seem like a cool person, and hopefully we get to collab with you someday.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Well, with that being said, first off, I got to shout out Cynthia in the Patreon chat. Said hello from Gatineau, Canada. Says, come on, Josh, tell everyone we're your favorite neighbors. And I will say, Gatineau, Ottawa, basically the same place. It's like Windsor, Detroit. It's the same city. So shout out to Gatineau. Also,
Carmen on the Patreon commented, Sean is a no-show. Sean only shows up when it's a paid live stream, Carmen. So
yeah, he shows up every other Wednesday. I think that's what
can I tell you?
The plan is.
That man only, have you seen his schedule? Full-time work, full-time student, full-time podcaster.
He's a busy man.
To breathe. He is a busy man.
All right. It's Ottawa in French. Ottawa is pretty French in some spots. But yeah, Gatineau is the French side for sure. All right, John. Well, full disclosure, Wikimaniacs, I have picked my stories blind today because...
Don't we always?
I flew in last night, was editing this morning, and was like, shit, I need some stories for the live today. So I went through and picked some, I think, good ones based on what I've seen. So fingers crossed. What's the vibe? What'd you bring today, John? What's your vibe?
Not too crazy. Not traumatizing.
Okay.
There's one. I do want to save one in the end because that one made me laugh out loud like crazy.
I guess I can say BC was super fun.
Yes.
I went to
Tell us about
BC,
your trip.
Yeah, this weekend for a friend's wedding. Shout out to Erica and Brandon for inviting us. It was beautiful. It was way up in Squamish, which is like mountain country. A beautiful location. It was the only day it didn't rain, which was good for the wedding. Sucked for the rest of the vacation because we got fucking poured on all weekend. But it was good. We biked around Stanley Park. Ate some amazing food. Great sushi out there. Got some steaks. So you'd be happy about that, John.
Did you get scared when the cannons fired at Stanley Park? Because I did.
No, I did not get scared about that.
Yeah. Anytime I hear pew pews, I get like, where do I cover? I think that's just my PTSD.
and then we went hiking the morning after the wedding, which was a bad idea, terrible idea. And it was pouring rain, climbing a goddamn mountain, which was not ideal. And then Sienna was like, well, since I put you through that, we'll go watch Sinners this afternoon. So we watched Sinners finally.
So good.
Yeah. It was a great movie. 10 out of 10. Yeah. That was basically the trip. So definitely recommend going to BC. Check the weather before you go. Even though I feel it rains a lot there. So it's might be the only weather you get. I don't know. All right, John.
You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
All right. Let me get a sip of my tea real quick.
Whoa, I was just going to take a sip too. Now we're awkward. We're going to have silence.
Matches. All right. We're going to sip together. All right. Okay.
Enjoy
Owala,
that.
please sponsor us. Thank you. All right.
That sponsorship.
For real. I got like, oh man, I left the other one. I have like 2-3 bottles going on at a time, like different stuff.
I jokingly said to Sienna, we need to get like the cat bowl, a wall of like cat bowls.
I think, wait.
Or they have
bowl?
dog. Well, they're cat and dog bowls. There's like pet bowls.
Oh, we have those, but a different brand.
Oh, okay. I will get those if they sponsor us.
Yeah. Kevin gets like the good water and like, you know, those little cute Sonic ice cubes. He loves that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, little fancy bitch. All right. First story of the day. This one is from r/confessions from Defiant Monitor 3029. The title is I pretend to be bad at work so people don't give me more responsibilities.
Ooh, not a bad strategy. I had a coworker who did this. He would get a project and he'd be like, yeah, this will probably take me a week. And then he would work on it like a couple hours every day and then just like take lots
I've done
of
that
breaks.
so many times. All right, story goes as this. About 2 years ago, I, 28 male, switched departments at my corporate job. In my old role, I was known as the guy who could fix anything. And what did that get me? Constant interruptions, unpaid overtime, and exactly zero recognition when promotion time came around. So, when I transferred to the new department, I made a strategic decision to play dumb. You fucking corporate guy. Strategic. The first time someone asked me to help with Excel, I deliberately took forever and made the most basic formula errors. When they needed help with the presentation software, I acted confused about how to add animations. The result? My actual assigned work gets done perfectly and on time. But nobody, and I mean nobody, comes to me with quick favors or small tasks that somehow always balloon into massive projects. My manager thinks I'm reliable for my designated responsibilities, and that's it. I go home at 5 p.m. every day, and my stress levels have plummeted. I actually have energy for hobbies again, and I even got promoted last month. And with those reduced work hours, I finally had time to do some freelancing after work, which has been quite beneficial.
Hell yeah.
One night, I threw like $100 on Jackpot City just for fun, and somehow turned it into enough to cover a weekend trip. Today, totally lucky, but it weirdly made me realize how much more in control I feel of my time and energy now. Sometimes I feel a tiny bit guilty about what I'm doing, but then I remember what happened at my old job, and that feels goes away.
Yeah, I mean, don't feel bad. This is like with family members, because I am in a tech field. They expect me to know everything about tech, whether it's like printers, TV problems, anything like that, phone problems. They're like, oh, Josh will know this. And I'm like, I don't have a fucking clue. but because when I was younger, I knew stuff like basic phone things. They're like, you know everything about technology and you could fix everything. So now I just play dumb. I'm getting old enough that I can do that. So,
yep. No, I was kind of the same way. Probably like the early years of like my career, and I did have a problem with like people pleasing. So I always took on tasks, and I mean, it helped me a lot. I progressed pretty fast in my career. I got promoted a bunch, but then like there was part of me that got burned out along the way, and then it took therapy, a lot of self-realization, and just be like, hey, I'm getting paid the same and I have more work. This is bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm helping people who get paid more than me. This is crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I got like directors who can't even fucking know how to convert shit to PDF. Like I know it's a running joke, but that is a real thing, which is crazy. It's
insane because you could just Google shit. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Even if you don't know it, it's just like a quick Google search.
That's what I'm saying.
Or AI, whatever the fuck you want to do nowadays. It'll tell you what to do.
Although someone did a comment, and I was going to call this out too, because they mentioned something about Jackpot City. Part of me feels like this is an ad for like that specific like ad, but the story is still true. Like there's so much things right now in corporate world where like they don't hire a lot of people because they don't want to, have more like people to pay, and they expect people to do more with less. And that's going to be the expectations moving forward. And they want you to work like the jobs of two people, and that's the expectation along the way. So, do the bare minimum. Do what your job requirement asks you to.
Yeah.
All right. And if in a job description says all other duties attached, that's a red flag already to look for if you're trying to look for companies. And if I were you in the interview, I'd ask specifically what that is, so that way you can weed out like, all right, this place ain't gonna be worth it for me.
Yeah, exactly. That, I mean, both in regards to the ad thing, crazy if that's the ad. That's it. That's super super insane. But I love that. That's clever way to do it.
I call out to that too. So I appreciate the comments for seeing that. Also, tips and tricks. This is what I did too. Like when I started being a piece of shit at work, I always walk around with some sort of a clipboard or a folder. And anytime I'd have to go somewhere, I walk extremely fast, and I would just look at my paper, scratch my head a few times, and then just go straight to my desk. And then like no one bothers me, because then they'll look at you. They're like, oh shit, I don't want to talk to him. He's busy, or he looks like he's rushing into something. That always works. So rush to your desk, look at something, scratch your head, mumble a few words, and they'll be like, all right, I ain't gonna talk to this person. That's what I always be doing. All right, fuck.
That's smart. Take notes, WikiManiacs.
From a retired piece of shit.
Some swearing and mumbling really gets you by.
It does for sure. You just tweak to your desk or whatever you need to do.
Yeah. Shout out to Bobo, who sends $2, says listening while I prep D&D. Also, I'm graduating. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I hope the D&D session goes well too. I have to prep for mine. I think we're doing one soon. Next weekend, maybe.
Ooh.
So I have to prep as well. But.
All right. Correct me. What's the term when people say it's a one shot? What that mean?
So one shots, usually you try and finish it in one sitting. So it's usually like a campaign or mission that will take 4-ish hours. You know what I mean? So
that's like one shot is like a shorter version of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, like like you sit down for 4 hours, you play, you expect to finish it by that point.
So these games can take long?
D&D is like
shit,
years long. Like you can play multiple years. Campaigns. Yeah. There's many D&D campaigns that are like 20 plus years. Yeah. So, and then as Bobo said, it's almost one shots almost never take one sitting, but that's like the idea is it's shorter.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. We should do an all D&D like Reddit story someday.
Y'all will have a better thing than me because I've never played, so I don't know what.
You can just ask us the questions.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All right. So I got one here from Murky Carey 1925 from r/Am I the Asshole?
Gasp.
Title is, Am I the Asshole for Canceling My Financial Support for My Son's Wedding After His Fiancée Catfished Him to Test His Loyalty?
Ooh. Nah. Hopefully that makes you realize that... Is it your son? Is that what you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully your son realizes that, like, hey, yo, that's pretty wrong. You should... I don't know. I don't like testing relationships, bro. Like if you don't trust your partner, don't get with them.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. So my son, 23, got engaged a few months ago. Recently, he admitted to me that he's been texting with a girl he met on Tinder.
Oh, so
That alone already shocked me. He's engaged, and that's obviously not acceptable behavior. But here's the twist. He found out the girl on Tinder was actually his fiancée. She made a fake account to test whether he would stay loyal, and when he flirted back, she confronted him.
Damn, maybe there was a reason.
I was gonna say loyalty tests are dumb until they're not.
Until they're not. Okay. All right. I rescind that. Jesus.
Yes, what my son did was messed up, but creating a whole fake profile to trap your partner, that's manipulation. If you have to run a sting operation to trust your fiance, maybe you shouldn't be getting married. After learning this, I told my son I wouldn't be paying for the wedding anymore. I don't want to support a marriage that already starts with lies and games from both sides. Some people in the family say that I'm overreacting and punishing both of them. What's your opinion?
I think, okay. So I think
it is a tricky, because it's like you're not the asshole for not supporting the wedding.
I think you're the asshole for, I think the OP is the asshole for misplacing the anger on the fiance, because I think the testing rooted from somewhere.
Yes.
Right? Because there was already doubts. So I think maybe that test was to kind of gauge out like, all right, if this person gonna be the right person for me? And if they bite, then I'm calling off the wedding type of shit. Yeah. That's the scenario that I'm thinking in my head. I think the anger is misplaced on the fiance who did the test.
Yeah, she's both siding it as like they're both bad. It's like, well, she clearly had some like inclination, and if like he's on Tinder, you know what I mean?
Yes.
so I'm assuming she found out he had a Tinder account, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna catch him in the act, and like started a Tinder account as another girl. And then like confronted him. That's how I'm picturing it. So in my mind, it's like, no, she's not also bad. She's doing petty revenge, basically being like, I caught your ass cheating on me or wanting to cheat on me.
And the fact that he still has an active Tinder account as an engaged person, like, what are you doing?
It's insane.
Look, normally I'm not like we said in the beginning, I'm not the type of person who likes to test, but sometimes it's warranted. And I feel like this situation is warranted that, you know, the fiance, or I guess the son got tested for it.
Yeah. So Trivana Ice says, not the asshole, sorry, but your son being on a dating website while planning a wedding while his fiance was tricking him. Sorry, but that doesn't sound like a healthy relationship. And honestly, if the girl is smart, she should break it off, as it shows that your son isn't loyal again because of being on dating apps. Unless there is agreement between the two of them that they are allowed to date outside of their relationship, this is a big red flag. Talk to your son about it. If he really wants to get married, because if he's disloyal now, why does he want to get married? A divorce is expensive, and most of the time ends in worse conditions for the husband, which is okay. I agree to the comment up until that point.
You had us in the first half.
All right.
Lupe on our Patreon commented, the fact the mom knew he was talking to someone and didn't say anything is crazy.
Yeah,
I agree. That's I'm like, I think you're kind of the asshole in this scenario.
She's not the asshole for the question. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I agree. You shouldn't be
pay for that
financially supporting this marriage where your son is trying to cheat or has cheated on his fiance. It's like, yeah, that part's fine. You're the asshole for being like, well, she's in the wrong for trying to manipulate him.
Like, she's complacent and, you know, saying like, okay, well, yeah, my son is in dating apps, but she tested it. Like, what? I don't get it.
And there is a comment from OP here. So they posted this just after. So, dear users, first of all, thanks for all answers and critique on my actions. After reading through hundreds of your comments, I want to take a moment to genuinely reflect and admit that many of you are right. If I'm being honest, had the roles been reversed, if my daughter engaged a man who had started flirting on Tinder and she pulled the exact same move to confirm her suspicions, I wouldn't have called it manipulation. I probably would have said, good for her for finding that out rather than later. That double standard hit me. I reacted emotionally and focused way too much on how she exposed the issue rather than why she felt the need to in the first place. She didn't create the problem, my son did, and she reacted to it. I'll try to give an update soon, as I plan to talk to both of them again and hopefully get a clearer picture. Thanks again to everyone who gave honest input. So,
okay.
A learning experience for OP.
Good on you, mama.
Hell yeah. Reddit deemed not the asshole, which I think is the correct technical answer.
Because the question,
because the question
is about the financing.
OP is an asshole for at the beginning equating or saying that she like the fiance was worse. But they learned the lesson, and that's what we're here for. So good.
Oh, my wife's in the chat. What's up, babe? How you doing, cutie?
How's it going?
Oh my gosh. Speaking of babe, we took a Pilates class yesterday, and we were like hardcore staring at the teacher. We were just like, this has got to be Sienna's doppelganger. They look exactly the same. We were both like at the end of the class. I was like, bro, I'm not wearing my glasses. You have better vision. It's her, right? And she's like, yeah, dude. I'm like, fuck. I was like, it's gonna be weird. Like, we should have taken a picture. That's weird, right? Like,
oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. Sienna went down to Dallas to teach Pilates.
Also, you know how much of a menace my wife is, bro. Like, so there's a part in the Pilates class where you're doing like the bridges. So you're basically humping the air, right?
Yeah.
So this girl looks at me and she goes, "You like that? You like that?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" I was like, "Hey, stop, because I will break."
And then Sienna will yell at us. That's so funny.
I can't stand this girl, man. She like terrorizes me every fucking day.
To be fair, you do it to everyone else. So
yeah, I do it to everyone else, and she does it to me.
Yeah. That's called karma. It's even
Get no rest in this household. All right.
No.
Constant torture, but I love her.
I'm on her side, actually. And I think Sean would be too, based on how much you mentally torture him on a daily.
She put a spell on me, girl. I can't. I can't live with that girl. Oh shit! All right, ready for the next story, my guy.
Let's do it up.
I hope you didn't take this because I took it from Am I the Asshole?
Uh-oh.
Does any of your stories involve tequila, my guy?
Not that I know of, so.
Oh, thank God. All right, good. Hey, you wildin' for that. Put Sean with a frog emoji. Jesus Christ. Anyways, all right. This one is from r/Am I the Asshole from Agreeable Living 640. The title is Am I the Asshole for Expecting Tequila in the Margaritas?
As someone who doesn't drink and has limited knowledge on, mixology, tequila is in margaritas. Am I correct?
I believe some are. I don't drink tequila. It turns me into a slut.
So I'm going to say probably for expecting. It depends on what you do after you expect that. If you're just like, oh, hey, is there tequila in this? Then no. But if you make a huge outcry about it, then maybe. I'll say no. I'll say not the asshole, because you order something and you expect that to be in there, then that's and you're maybe paying more for that. That's probably fair to be upset about that.
Yo, the YouTube chats are wild. Every time I look, it's just like kitty this, kitty that. What did y'all do? Stevie is pissed. All right.
Jesus Christ.
Kitty sober, kitty drunk. I love it. All right. Story goes as this. My 35 male wife, 33 female, got invited to a party at her coworker's house. I reluctantly went because the only person I would know was my wife. This is a relatively new job for her and wanted to be able to meet and mingle with her coworkers outside of work.
I'm immediately wrong because I assumed it was like at a restaurant, so you're paying more for the alcohol. This is a party. Chill.
Her understanding of it was we didn't need to bring anything but ourselves. We show up and seems like a lively party. Pool with a bar area, music playing. They had a margarita machine and a ton of food. My wife got to talking, so I excused myself to grab a drink. The margarita machine was calling my name, so I filled my cup and grabbed my wife a margarita. I went back to my wife and I started drinking and realized that there wasn't any tequila in it.
That's when I noticed no alcohol being around. The host was tending to the machine and I asked if there was any tequila. She looks at me confused and then she says, "There's no tequila." I said, "Oh, I thought it was a party." She takes offense at that and says it is just a dry one. I awkwardly left it at that and I poured out my drink and grabbed some water. Host asked if there was something wrong with it and I said, I wasn't interested in drinking straight sugar. And I walked back to my wife and kept to myself and ate some food for the few hours we were there. It made it back to my wife that I was an asshole to the host because caused a minor argument between us. Was I though?
Yes, you were incredibly rude. Yeah, like this is a work party, a work function. As you know, I like to think you should not get super drunk around your coworkers. Just as a just to keep your private and corporate life separate, because those people you have to work with every day. There could be HR issues.
Mm-hmm.
And so they probably wanted to avoid those issues, or maybe they don't drink. You know what I mean? Like, also fine. And so they were just like, yeah, we'll have a margarita machine. You can drink it if you want. It's like drinking, a pop or as you guys call it down there, soda.
It's the right way to say it.
It's not.
It is.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just us. But anyway, so it's just like, if you didn't want it, that's fine. You didn't have to be a dick about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You could have just asked if there was alcohol. If they said no, you could have been like, okay, thanks. And then just walk away, finish the drink, and then get a water. One margarita sugar, like that amount of sugar is not going to harm you. You can have it anyway. So I don't know. It's insane to me. Plus they didn't bring anything to the party.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're getting this stuff for free. Crazy. Oh, a lot of people saying Chicago, they call it. Oh, and Michigan, they call it pop as well. Hell yeah.
Anyways, y'all weird.
Shout out my northern states.
So basically Canada and I guess Chicago. Of course, Reddit deemed asshole. Top comment for this one, alert ad 9197 put, "You're the asshole. Would you not have been drinking straight sugar if there was tequila in it?"
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're going to be drinking it anyway.
"You insulted the host twice in a very brief interaction because you couldn't drink alcohol and you just embarrassed the shit out of your wife," which is like, bro, she just started working with these people. And a lot of times this is like one of the first impressions, like outside of work. First of all, I don't like hanging out with some of my coworkers, but like you're going to embarrass her. Now it's like, she might be shunned at like future parties if she's going to bring, she's going to bring you along.
Or not even invited.
Or not invited to begin with. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just being a child at that point. We did one similar with a wedding story where they didn't serve alcohol and they freaked out and left early and like made a big deal about it. And it's like, you're an asshole. Like you're going to someone else's party. If you really wanted alcohol that badly, bring it yourself. You know what I mean?
Seriously. Or pre-game. Before
or whatever. Or don't drink for a night. You're fine to do that as well. Or don't go. There's so many options. I don't know. Being rude about it is a dick move, and you should have just sucked it up and said, "Okay, I'm not drinking tonight. That's fine." Or drank after the party. Whatever you want to do.
For real. Rendon on our Patreon says, "My birthday's tomorrow. Boys, can I get a happy birthday, please?" Oh, happy birthday, Rendon.
Happy birthday, Rendon.
Your cameo should be scheduled to get to you tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Should be good. Happy birthday,
I was going to say, I thought I remember doing that one.
Yeah. $10 patrons if you want cameo.
Hell yeah. All right. And did Reddit agree, asshole?
Oh yeah. Reddit definitely deemed asshole.
I figured. I just wanted to check. All right, John. Let's move on to another one here by Majesticat84.
Ooh, Majestic Kitty. All right, Stevie will hate this. Kitty tell.
From r/AITAH. Title is, "Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I don't want to split the bills 50-50 anymore?"
Okay. Kitty Shiesty.
Kitty Shiesty. So you're going with asshole?
Not gonna lie, keep thinking of trying to think of kitty ways
puns,
to say it.
yeah.
I don't even remember what the fuck the title was.
He doesn't want to split the bills 50-50 anymore.
Oh, I mean, is your partner making considerably way more than you? Then maybe it's not an equitable split. But if you just want to be a douchebag about, I'm gonna go asshole in here.
Okay.
Oh, hello, dear. Oh, what is that?
Sticky rice matcha.
Wait,
Whoa.
Mango sticky rice matcha.
what? Juliet made mango sticky rice matcha.
The hell? Oh, you're center it to your face. There you go. There you go.
Am I getting it?
Yeah, you're good. God damn, that looks good. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna continue on with the story.
I mean, I'll let her bully me all day. See the fucking life I have.
All right. So I, 28 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 27 female, for almost 2 years. From the beginning, we agreed to split everything 50-50. Rent, groceries, dates, etc. I thought that was fair, even though I make significantly more than she does. I'm in tech and she's a teacher. Lately, I've started to feel weird about it. I cover some of the extras here and there, like vacations or bigger gifts, but the basic stuff is always split down the middle. The thing is, she's clearly struggling financially, and I know she's been dipping into her savings just to keep up. I brought it up and said, I don't think we should do this strict 50-50 anymore, maybe something more proportional to income. Her reaction was not great. She said she doesn't want to feel kept or less independent, and that she wants to be treated as an equal. I get that, but it isn't really equality, also being realistic with our situation. I get that, but that isn't really equality. Sorry. I get that, but isn't real equality also being realistic with our situation? There we go. I got it finally.
He just got back from a trip, people. He has jet lag. It's okay. We're patient. We got you, brother.
I don't think I'm being manipulative or trying to control her. I just think I don't think someone should go broke trying to maintain a split that only works on paper. So am I the asshole for wanting to change the dynamic even though she didn't ask me to?
I'm not gonna lie, this person sounds awesome. Sounds like a great partner. Notice that, people are saying equality versus fairness or equality and equity. And I think he has a good realization that, hey, I do make more, and it's unfair that you're dipping out of your savings because that's potentially something that you need down the line too, right? And it's always good to have separate finances just in case shit falls apart. That's entirely possible. My only suggestion for OP is it doesn't sound like they're breaching. It doesn't sound like they're nagging the girlfriend in the situation. If possible, have that conversation with them and just be like, hey, is it possible if we can, especially you're in, I said tech is where they work at?
Yeah.
Chances are you're probably pretty savvy when it comes to making reporting or dashboards or some way. If you can possibly put up a financial spreadsheet of some sort and say hey, this is currently the expenses that we have. This is the situation we're in. Look, I clearly have more to spare and more to contribute in the house. And this is currently where it's at. Is there anything that I can take off your plate so that way you can save more? And so it doesn't sound condescending, or it doesn't sound a handout or her relying on you. It's saying hey, this is a partnership. I got you. And in the future where let's say I'm in need, I know that you're going to have my back. So I guess it's just that type of conversation might be needed. But right now it seems like you seem like a pretty supportive person.
Yes. This is what he's trying to go for equity, which is I make, let's say 70% more or whatever. So it should be 70-30 or something like that. I agree with you that maybe sitting her down and talking to her and then maybe explaining it out a bit better, being I'm not trying to, control you or anything like that. I want you to have more of your own money so that you can, have your own freedom to spend. You're not taking out of your savings or anything like that. And so maybe frame it that way as well, as this is for both of us. I want you to have your own money in your savings and feel comfortable living in our current living situation. And like like you said, I know if, I lose my job, I know you'll have my back. This is how a partnership works. We're having each other's back. So yeah, I think he's absolutely not the asshole. I don't think she's the asshole either. She might have been, previously in an abusive financial relationship, and maybe she's wary of that. Which is, understandable. That we've read many stories where that's happened. But I don't think this guy is coming from it from a manipulative or abusive way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or if, if you have some sort of like funds, like maybe instead of like, some sort of like a couples counseling in a way to maybe like what Josh's point, like there might be some past trauma that she's experiencing with like, it seems like right now, like pride is also like in the way too, or like the way your upbringing is. Maybe you, the girlfriend didn't come from like, kind of like an affluent or kind of just like, a family that has some sort of money. So like they're very protected of their assets. Or you can also suggest like, hey, maybe we should have a meeting with like a financial advisor or something. So that way we can have a conversation. They have a better, it's like a third party, and they kind of have like better suggestions on like, all right, how can we split things? Is there a way to invest things in certain ways? So that way she'll also have access to that specific, portfolio or like, financial advice. So that way you guys can come up with it together, like how to divvy up, your household in an equal and equitable way.
Yeah. It's like a therapist for your money.
Yeah, basically. So I feel like they have the means to do it. I just think, a gentle nudge probably will go a long way. But right now it seems like he's doing everything that he needs to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, at the end of the day, it is her decision. I think you should go back to, either with a financial advisor or with a more detailed breakdown of why you think we should go this way. And if she says no again, it is her choice at the end of the day. Yeah. And you have to let her do what she wants with that. So,
And Sandra M on our Patreon possibly has the best advice that, they can give to OP. If the OP has extra money, they should join the Reddit on Wiki Patreon. And I think I speak for all of us, Sean included, even if it's not here. Yeah. We agree. Pay up, kitty.
And Reddit deemed not the asshole. No. I think most people said no one's the asshole. So, yeah,
I agree.
Good one. It was a good one.
Yeah, that was. Hey, we've been scarred hearing so much stories about like financial manipulation from like partners, and it's always refreshing when it's like you actually have yourself a partner that gives a damn and cares about your well-being and like wants you to do well. Yeah, absolutely. All right, next story for the day. This one is from r/vent from Shadow the Laker. The title is, I almost got into a fight with this dude and I feel like a coward that I didn't fight him.
Oh man, it's such a tricky scenario because like I wouldn't say never fight because
this is good.
Obviously, if you're self-defense, like that's fine, but I think you shouldn't like search out a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I hope that's not what he's doing, but
yeah. As a podcast who always says shit about beating the shit out of somebody. But yeah. All right.
It's more the sentiment, I guess.
Yeah. You're right. Me? You think I beat up somebody? I punched their kneecaps. Best I could do. Shit.
Yeah. Or defending someone else. I guess that's also.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Story goes as this. I, 27 male, went to a concert with my girlfriend last night. It was all general admission, so we are all on a giant floor. I went to the bar to get us water and walked back to my spot next to my girlfriend. I come back and there's a guy blocking my path to an open spot right next to my girlfriend. And I said, excuse me, I'm just going to that spot right there. That's my girlfriend. And he said, you're not serious. You're not getting by me. Now, for a little info on myself and them, I'm 5'3" and I'm like 117 pounds, so I'm pretty skinny. This person blocking me was like 5'10" and wide. So of course I'm intimidated. I ask again because the only thing between me and my girlfriend is this person. They start yelling at me and pushing into me. And my girlfriend now starts arguing with them, and he's still not budging and saying he's not going to let me pass. Then everyone around us starts yelling at him to let me pass. He still won't do it, and he wants to fight me. My girlfriend ended up getting security to get him out of the way, and he even argued and threatened the security guard. The security guard led me to my girlfriend and told the guy he's doing too much and he needs to calm down. Now, throughout the show, this dude is yelling at literally anyone, man or woman, who walks by them, like aggressively. I felt like I should have done something for myself and everyone around me. I didn't want me or my girlfriend to end up arrested, so I didn't. But I feel like a coward for not doing more about this shitty individual. Did I do the right thing as a man, or should I have done more? And just to vent extra really quick, I genuinely hope this person never finds happiness and dies young alone.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's the thing. I think security did a shitty job here. As soon as they were like, he said, my girlfriend got security, I was like, oh, okay, cool. This is going to be handled. But it sounds like they just let him stay, which was insane. So no, I here's the thing. Guys like that, like this, I'm assuming, they are very hateful people, always looking to fight. I don't think it would have accomplished anything other than you both getting kicked out, probably getting your ass beat. But I just, that to me, that situation is more on the venue, not, doing their due diligence and kicking people out like that. I don't think that's on you. You shouldn't feel the need to fight someone in an arena. You should feel comfortable like going in and not having to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So no, I don't think you should have fought. It wouldn't have solved anything. And at the end of the day.
No, completely agree. And top comments kind of, goes along with your sentiments there, Josh. So Old Job commented, there's literally no situation in which this ends up well for anyone. Security should have taken that guy out if they knew what was going on. That's not acceptable behavior anywhere. It wasn't just you. This guy was looking to pick a fight with anyone he thought he might be able to take and probably wasn't concerned with his own well-being. Acting like that just gets people hurt or worse, and nobody wins anything for being a part of it except maybe a hospital bill or criminal charges. So yeah, I think we're kind of going like on in the beginning already too. It's just like, all right, there are going to be appropriate times to have altercations like that, right? And it's like, if you're protecting somebody, if you are, self-defense, or if you're a damn professional fighter who gets paid to fight, or hockey players, situations like that, I can see it happening a lot more as like teenagers. Testosterone levels are probably high, like immaturity is still there. I haven't got I got in a few fights in my life. I never won any one of them. Actually, I did one time. I got really lucky and I beat him to the punch. I punched him in the nose and I ran. Because I was like, this motherfucker's huge, bro. It was just like a straight bam, nose dip. I was already fucking next area code by the time he was like, shit. I was so scared. But like situations like this, it's like there's no winning, right? And it's like there's so much factors that can happen, especially in street fights. Like at least in professional settings, there's a referee to stop you. The floor is a little bit more padded, but in the street, you get knocked out. You hit a fucking like curb, that's permanent brain damage, bro. Yeah. And it's like, and
or
for what?
You don't know like what they have on them, like weapon wise or stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just so risky that way.
One wrong kick to the head is like life threatening. Could be, situations like that. And it's like, what for what? To stroke your ego, to kind of say like, oh, I'm this big bad man, I could take everyone out. It's like, there's really no prize into doing shit like this.
Yeah. I have not been in a fight since like grade 8 where I got my ass beat. Like,
dude, I'm like, I got a losing record, brother.
Yeah. Like, well, here's the thing. Like I'm not a huge, like I'm a pretty average size guy. And I don't drink. So whenever I'm like in any situation where, something's escalated, I'm usually the sober one in the room. And that's why I'm trying to like calm everyone down. That's kind of been my role. as like a teenager and adult. I do remember one time in college, my one roommate got really drunk, and we were at a bar, and this other really drunk guy, like 6'6", probably 250 pounds, huge dude. My roommate is, he's like 5'8", maybe $130. he's not a big dude, and so the one guy moused off to him, and he says something back, and I'm just like, I am not fighting this man I will die if I fight this man. So I talk him down. Like I talk my roommate down, and then I talk to the other guy. And I'm like, listen, like he's drunk. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, let's just leave it at that. And then like expertly took them both down. And like by the end of the night, they were chilling and sharing a beer. So it was like, that's like my go-to when there's a fight about to break out. I'm like, how do I mend fences here? I don't want to go to the hospital or take someone to the hospital. You know what I mean? So
the one time I got my ass beat. Okay, so I famously say I live in this area called Nashville City in California. Look it up. Statistic-wise, it's like one of the most violent places in America. Right? Oh, no. One time I was heading to this park. It's called Eltion Park. I used to play basketball a lot when I was like a teenager. And I got checked by like these two guys, right? And they were just like, usually when people are like gang affiliated, they check you. They're like, "Hey, where are you from?" type of shit. And I got smart, and I'm like, I'm from nowhere. I'm just trying to go to the park, and I had a basketball in my hand, and like I had those old ass flip phones, bro, like black and white flip phones. I didn't even get no real ringtones. It was like 8-bit shit, I'm like, goddamn. So they're like, "Hey, fool, let me see your phone." I'm just like, dude, I really have a fucking black and white phone. It doesn't even have games.
Yeah.
That's how fucking bad this shit was.
I can't even run Snake.
They can't. And they decked the shit out of me, bro. Like they fucking got me, like they beat my ass. And the thing was, the whole time, like they were like kicking me, like, punching me, kicking me. I got up after and I was talking mad shit. And I was like, fuck y'all, bro. Like, I was just talking my shit. And to the point that one of the guys was like, "Hey, this guy's crazy." And they left and then dapped me up in the end.
Jesus Christ.
They fucking gave me a high five. I'm like, did y'all just beat my ass? I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then so like I ran into them like one more time, like heading there, and I was like clutching, bro. I was like, fuck, I'm about to get my ass beat again. So I crossed the street. They saw me. They remember me. And they were just like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "Nothing." And then just let me walk. Because they probably thought I was fucking crazy. Yeah, I was like, talking shit after getting my ass beat. Oh man. I don't.
We grew up in
days.
Wildly different spots, John.
I love being in the suburbs now. You can't catch me on that shit anymore. Boy, I like being pampered. Fuck. That's it.
All
for
right.
mine.
My turn?
Yep, your turn, buddy.
All right. So this one comes from Madras Muses from r/Malice Compliance. This one's for you, John. Manager said, "If you're on time, you're late." So I started showing up 30 minutes early and charging them for it.
This is giving me military PTSD because this is all they told us.
I do hate that rule because it's just like, I'm not getting paid for those 15 minutes. And that adds up.
Except we can't charge them. They'll be like, "Yeah, if you're late, you're going to jail." But it never happened. But it's just like, this scares me. That's why I'm always awake 4:30 every day.
Yeah.
I'm still scarred.
But a work scenario, like a regular work scenario, this is like insane. Because like 15 minutes, 5 days a week, like that's insane. It adds up quick.
I'm clocking in early in that bitch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as you should. All right. So a few years ago, I worked at a company where our manager was obsessed with punctuality. She'd constantly say, "If you're on time, you're late." She wanted everyone to be there at least 15 minutes early and unpaid, of course, and would shame people who showed up just on time. I asked once if we had to be paid for those extra 15 minutes, and she laughed like I told her a joke. So I decided to comply maliciously. I started arriving 30 minutes early every day,
Hell yeah.
clocking in exactly when I arrived. And when she confronted me about it, I told her I was just trying to be really prepared. You're always saying 15 minutes early is the bare minimum, right? She tried to argue, but since I was hourly, our system logged every minute, and payroll started paying me for all that early time. After a month, upper management noticed and asked her why overtime had increased for her team. So she backtracked so fast. Suddenly, on time was fine again.
Mm.
And that's the story.
And as it should be. And
Yes.
this is a preview. I think we did cover something like this in a Brownies episode, $10 patrons, which
Whoa.
we did say something about, I mean, one of the things that pissed me off growing up is just like, why is paid lunch or unpaid lunch a thing? That should be part of the freaking workday.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? While we're at it, getting to work should be part of the fucking workday too. Because it's like, it should be, okay, 8 hours. Like, let's say that's the workday, but that should include getting to work, traveling to work, and a 30 or an hour lunch.
Mm-hmm.
That should be part of the whole deal, not like, you know, ending up being a stretching to like a 10, 12 hour day, because that's stupid as hell.
Especially if you're required to, you know, go to work now. Like if they're making you, like if it's like, yeah, if I can do my work from home, just let me stay at home and then don't include that. And you know what I mean? Like commutes add so much time to your day and it's crazy. And Lori says, I'm a teacher. We're expected to work evenings and weekends and summers with no pay beyond our contract hours, which I have many teachers in my life as well. And yeah, it's insane how much, like, especially if you like expected to coach or something like that, like, like you're not paid for that either. So, yeah, crazy.
I had a friend who told me a story about that they worked at a warehouse, like an Amazon warehouse in the past.
Oh, yeah.
And what they do is they purposely have the break room so far away from the floor. So when like they want to take a break, it'll take them about like, you know, 8 to 10 minutes to actually get to the break room. And by the time like they get to sit down, they have to go back. And it's structured that way to make it like, all right, they're not going to just go to break because it's so far away. So they might as well stay and work.
What the fuck? That's
Dude,
so fucked up.
It's fucking bad.
Ugh. I wish nothing but worse things for billionaires.
Seriously. Seriously.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, so if your manager tells you that, just clock in 15 minutes early.
Yeah. I do love the pettiness. I love it.
So do I.
All right. So how many more stories you got, Josh?
I think I got 3 more.
3 more? Okay. I have a 2-parter for this one.
Okay.
Okay. So this one is from r/am I wrong from positive lower score artist 8123. The title is, am I wrong for shouting at my girlfriend when she repeatedly engages me in conversation due to her jealousy/anxiety after I have asked for a timeout or for her to stop? Long title, sorry. Caitlin Brown, love the long ones. That's what she said.
I don't love yelling at your partner, but I also understand the frustration of being like, hey, we need to take a pause in this conversation, and them not allowing that seems unfair. Oh, I'm going to go with everyone sucks here.
Okay. All right. Story goes as this. In a relationship for 3 years with a woman who is affectionate, beautiful, and family-oriented who wants a future with me. However, she is extremely insecure and jealous and sometimes questions me when triggered. Some of the examples: asks me if I would cheat on her if we see a film and the guy cheats on the woman. She sometimes asks when I make a passing comment like, oh, they don't like each other that much, or he should just kiss this other lady because he's no longer with the other woman. Asks me what I'm doing on my phone and occasionally asks if I am texting other women. She gets anxious when I don't pick up when she calls and asks why I didn't pick up when she first rang. She asks me if I love her every day and occasionally why I love her, even if I told her getting asked this question frequently is annoying me. She asked me if I would cheat on her if a better woman enters in my life and leave her for them. And when she gets really anxious, she will present different scenarios and ask me if I will cheat on her or if I will choose her. This has led to moments where I raise my voice at her because she doesn't know when to stop asking, even if I have repeatedly said I am at my wit's end, and sometimes me yelling when she consistently forces to talk about the issue after I have asked her for space. Am I wrong for losing my cool when I have done nothing and have enforced my boundaries, but end up losing my cool when she repeatedly forces an answer or conversation out of me? Am I being a dick for not just answering her questions every time?
No, like if she's seriously asking you those questions, then she needs like therapy for sure. Cause that's like in her own mind. She's making up these scenarios. Like, I understand getting frustrated with that. And just needing some space. So yeah, it's unfair of her to be putting that, like I assume she probably got cheated on in the past and is now projecting onto you, which is not fair. So yeah, I would recommend her to get like therapy to work through that. Couples therapy if you want. And then that way you can both work on, communication styles that if things escalate, you don't feel the need to shout. You can, work on it together that way. So, yeah.
I agree. And I think this also could be a learning. Okay. I completely agree with Opie. This is going to be very annoying. Like if I hear this having to assure every single time and it's like, okay, well, if you do have that issue, like I'm sorry that it happened to you, but yes, get that sorted out. And it's unfair for you to pass that on me because I've been nothing but like faithful to you, or I reassure you as much as possible. I agree. Yelling is not possibly like the best thing to do to someone who is already anxious, which is I'm not a psychologist or anyway. I don't know the actual situations, but I feel like that will exacerbate someone. It's just like saying like, hey, calm down when someone's already kind of mad, right? But that is something that's like, I think it could be an eye opener for him too. It's like, all right, instead of yelling, which even though frustrations can happen, like maybe you can benefit from like counseling. So then you can have better ways of like diffusing the situation instead of having to yell to get your point across. So, but I do feel for the guy and,
well, yeah, especially like I get if he's like asking for like, hey, I need space. Like I'm like I need just a moment away from this conversation. I do get the frustration. But that's why I'm recommending couples therapy so that, you can better communicate.
Yes.
Like on her end as well, like understanding when you need space and on your end, understanding how to properly let her know that.
Yeah. Also, a cheap version is break the fuck up.
Or that. Yeah. I mean,
shouldn't be that hard to be with somebody. Jesus Christ.
How long are they together?
3 years. 3 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you do love this person, that's the way to go. If you're really fed up with that, that's like 3 years is a long time to be together and her to like still be so insecure about where your relationship is.
Yeah.
So yeah, therapy for sure for her. And then, yeah, if you want to stay together, couples therapy, if you're tired of it and not, enjoying the relationship anymore, then you don't have to stay with someone like that.
Yeah. So to answer some of your questions, Josh. So Power Clipper 780 asked, is she in counseling? Probably not going to go away unless she figures herself out. To which Opie responded, yeah, she is. She's making some progress, but also slipping at times. She has asked me to join the sessions, but even if she explains her anxiety, I get angry and overwhelmed from the accusations of potentially cheating on her when I have done nothing ever to indicate that. To which another commenter put, Blue Jay Sweaty 8351 commented, she needs her own sessions and also sessions with you. And I think that kind of hammers our point home because he is getting frustrated. He is resorting to like yelling. I think he also needs better ways to like handle the situation if he wants to proceed that relationship with her.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. To update, to kind of answer a little bit some of the questions, they put update. They asked their girlfriend why she thinks I don't deserve her trust after 3 years of being with me. And here are some of the responses that the girlfriend provided. I have multiple email accounts and dislike when she wants to go through and read all my emails. I have multiple email accounts years before I met her and use them for shopping/subscriptions. I feel like there is no trust if I have to show her every email. I also have a ton of email, like for subscriptions and like personal too. So I could see how that could be kind of annoying sometimes.
Yeah. I get, maybe I don't have to write kind of emails. I just wouldn't care, but
Yeah, same. But it's just like, okay, have fun reading spam.
yeah, yeah, honestly, my
Yeah.
personal email is mostly that. But yeah.
And
it's
then
a little odd to want to read your emails, I guess. but
true.
I don't know.
I barely mention her to my colleagues when I'm on a work call. It's a work call. Come on.
Well,
I don't mention
work call is crazy.
I don't mention her as much as I am a full-time remote worker and do not have a close relationship with my colleagues. Additionally, I am private and explain to her that I do not like talking about my personal life as much, but I have mentioned her on occasion to my colleagues, just not as often as she would like. And they also put, I used to have photos of me and my ex on my phone and forgot to delete them. She found out through snooping and thinks I'm not over my ex, but I explained that I just didn't get the chance to look at my old photos and clear them all. They put, I put my phone on airplane mode, but I am on Wi-Fi calling, which means I receive all texts and calls through Wi-Fi. Only reason why I do this is that my signal in my area is horrible and my battery dies if I do not turn on airplane mode. I've done that a few times, to be honest.
Yeah, I get that. The photos of the exes, I'm curious, like what kind of photos?
Sure, yeah.
You know, like if it's just like couples pictures or whatever, I don't think that's inherently wrong to keep those.
No.
I don't
think so.
I've never had an issue with that, but yeah, because it's just like, yeah, that happened like that. I you know, like if they go on a trip together and they take pictures there, it's like, well, I don't want you to delete all the pictures of like your trip to Italy or something like that, because it's like,
Yeah.
that's a memory for you as well.
But I do agree. If it's like explicit or
it's
kind of like
nudes or anything like that.
romantic in nature,
Yeah, that's
maybe I could
gross.
see that being a problem. But
Well, it's
kinda
gross
like
that we would even keep that kind of thing
right.
beyond
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
you know, like still thinking about her thing, but
for sure.
yeah.
And then last thing, I do not like when she questions me what I'm doing on my phone a lot of times and questions the features and thinks I am cheating on her. She knows my passcode and also have location sharing on, so don't understand why she would think I am hiding something. Is she justified in thinking I am not trustworthy? I realize her constant questioning is grinding me down, which is why I have been yelling at her recently.
Yeah, and I don't like the yelling, but I see the frustration because none of those things were inherently red flags to me. You know what I mean? Especially
Same.
if she has your passcode to your phone, like
And location?
and location. It's like, well, what do you like? You can just go through his text messages and stuff. And yeah, for him, I get maybe drawing the line at emails because maybe he works in a like sensitive job or you know what I mean? Like could be anything like that where you're just like, yeah, I don't want you to go through my emails, but like texts and anything like that, you can see. Yeah, this is toxic in my opinion.
The coworker thing is kind of weird too, because unless you're having a conversation with your coworkers and it just happens to have like a part where, you know, partners may have been discussed, I don't think there's really just a natural way to be like,
Just to bring them up. Yeah.
my wife. Yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
just weird for me.
Very rarely do you bring up your private life at work other than like, oh yeah, my wife and I went to a restaurant this weekend or something like that. Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
how was the restaurant? It was good. You know, like we had this. It's like, I'm not bringing her up every day. You know what I mean? It's, that would be crazy. And yeah, so I agree with that as well.
Yeah. Top comment for this post. Sapien Bob commented, if everything you say is true, then she obviously needs to, she needs a lot of work on herself before she's ready for a long-term relationship. No one deserves to be treated with suspicion for no reason. Honestly, it's going to get very toxic if it hasn't already. It's been toxic.
Yeah.
The fact that you're having to yell at her on a regular basis about the most inane things is a pretty surefire sign that the relationship is doomed. And what we like, you know, a lot of times we say, like, I think the foundation of a lot of relationships, partnerships, you have to have trust. And if you don't have that, everything else is going to crumble. And
well, even on her end, it's like, why are you with this person if you don't trust them?
yeah, if you don't
You know what I
trust
mean?
them,
Like that's
yeah,
a question you have to ask yourself. And if it's like, will I ever trust this person? And if the answer is no, then you should break up. And then on his end, it's like, she clearly doesn't trust me. I've never done anything to like make her mistrust me.
Yeah.
Why am I here? You know what I mean? So it's just, it's a very poorly, like the foundation of this relationship is very poorly made, if made at all. And so, yeah, I don't blame either of them if they just step out of this relationship, because she needs to work on herself for sure.
And honestly, like, I feel like in the first post, he was mentioning that she does a lot of slip ups. I think maybe it's time to consider maybe changing out your counselors, because maybe they're not really giving you the best advice or best, exercises or like strategies to cope with the issue you're having. I think it'd be a good idea to shop around and see like, someone else that could possibly help you better, because it seems like she's not getting better at all.
Yeah, not every counselor is going to be for everyone. So
for sure,
you try out other ones potentially as well. Oh man, no other update. That was the last.
That was it 6 days ago, unfortunately.
All right. Well, let's move on to a bit of a happier one. Question mark?
Oh, mine's going to be happy later. I'm ending mine with a bang, literally.
All right. So mine's from Wall International 103 from Today I Fucked Up.
Ooh.
So today I fucked up by accidentally proposing in Home Depot. The most romantic store.
Wood.
Laying pipe at Home Depot.
Nailed it.
And quick shout out to Johnny Frias, who sends $5, says Kitty has a fruit smoothie business called Jungle Juice in northern Utah. Would like the Kitty shout out for everyone to come support.
Ooh.
Shout out to Johnny.
Soaking smoothies. What up?
Check out Jungle Juice in northern Utah.
Can you dedicate a flavor to us, Johnny?
The
Kitty Wet. It'd be coconut and pineapple, basically a pina colada, but just call it Kitty Wet.
Those are my least two favorite fruits.
You don't like pina colada?
No, I don't drink. So, but yeah, I don't like coconut. Mostly the texture of coconut. And then
You know who likes coconuts? That one guy.
loves them. And then pineapple, I'm not a big fan of. Yeah, I know.
You need to get like really like, okay. So some pineapples that I've had, I hate them because like it makes my tongue hurt like afterwards, because I think they're picked when they're not fully ripe. But the ones that I've had in like Europe and some of them I've had in Mexico where it's like prime picking, that's like perfect. And I can't wait to go to Hawaii and like actually have a real pineapple. I'm fucking excited, brother. I love pineapple.
Yeah, I don't know, just not a fan for whatever reason. But
Gasp.
that's okay. It's okay. More for you. That's all that means. All right. So, accidentally proposed in Home Depot. So my girlfriend and I were at Home Depot picking out a new shower head. We were joking around, pretending to role play as boring suburban house owners. I said something like, quote, I just want to build a life with you and maybe a tile backsplash someday, end quote. She laughed and said, wow, that almost sounded like a proposal. So I, being a dramatic idiot, got down on one knee in the plumbing aisle with a washing ring and said, will you marry me, babe?
Ooh.
We were laughing until she said yes. Dead serious, eyes misty, voice shaking. Yes. Oh my God, yes. I froze. I panicked. I was not proposing. I was pretending. And I just went with it. We're engaged now, and our families know. There's a group chat, and I still haven't told her it wasn't real. So too long didn't read, pretending to propose at Home Depot. She thought it was real, said yes. Now we're accidentally engaged, and I'm too scared to explain.
Hell yeah. It doesn't have to be like a super grand gesture thing. And it feels like it's a too wholesome moment for both of you. And it's not like y'all made for each other, to be honest.
I like to picture a mirror Today I fucked up where it's her version and she's just like, my boyfriend proposed to me at Home Depot and I didn't know what to say, so I said yes. You know what I mean? Like she's also like, oh shit, we're engaged now.
Yeah. Oh, Josh, to make you more hungry again, Julia also delivered another food for me. So she made breakfast sandwich with Caesar salad, and she said she got like Japanese strawberries and hash browns.
What the fuck?
I'm about to this.
All right, WikiManiacs, I've taken John off the screen. This is fucked up what he puts us through. He does this almost every recording. He's yelling in my ear right now. You can't hear him, but he does this every recording. Juliet will bring him the most beautiful looking dish, and he just eats it in front of us. Like, what the fuck? What are we doing here? All right, I brought him back. You sicken me.
Don't hate us because you ain't us.
It's just jealousy. It's jealousy, John.
What can I say?
I'm going to have toast after this, I think. So,
what can I say? I'm going to split my hair.
Oh, man.
Now,
well, you can't eat it now because you got to read. So,
fuck. Elizabeth, but is Julia? Hell no, she ain't single, girl. What the fuck?
Can we also marry Juliet as the chat?
I will. No.
Chat's trying to steal your girl.
Hell nah. Now, for real, sometimes I do be that insecure girlfriend and be like, why are you with me? I'm like, babe, I ain't shit. Why do you love me so much?
She's like, shut up.
She's like, yeah, shut the fuck up and eat this. I'm like, yes, dear. I
like
love
this?
you. You like that? Fuck yeah, I do, girl. I'm like, is this foreplay? Because this is working. Oh, shit. All right. You ready for my last story?
Yeah, I got one more as well. So we'll end on that one. Go ahead, John.
All right. This one is also from Today I Fucked Up from Scooter and Beans.
Okay. Beans.
Sean hates that last one. Yeah.
Sean hates beans. I don't know how he feels about scooters though.
We'll see. My ankles hate them.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, you just whip around and you just break your ankle.
I hate those so much. All right. This title is Today I Fucked Up by not realizing iMessages were being delivered to my iPad and my kids were reading my texts.
Oh, I hope this isn't a cheating story and this is just like wife and husband back and forth type of thing, you know what I mean? At least then it's wholesome, but wholesome in a different way, if you know what I mean.
This is basically smut, Josh, at this point. Are you ready?
I guess so.
All right. So first off, Apple, what the fuck? Why the hell does an iPad get text messages on it? Apparently, I'm a 40-year-old dumbass who didn't know that was a thing. I got a new iPad a few weeks ago and signed in with my Apple account. I rarely use it. I learned shortly after getting it that I hate tablets and I prefer a laptop. So my kids watch Netflix and stuff on it. My wife and I are in our early 40s and been married 20 years this July. We have 3 kids, 12, 10, and 8. Oldest is a girl, the other 2 boys. They're out of school for summer and we're apparently watching my iPad this morning. My wife works from home. Today, I'm at work and thinking about her, and so I sent message joking, but also not joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. The text go as this. Hey, let's do some fucking tonight.
Whoa.
Hell yeah, buddy. She responded with a laughing face and said, okay, but that was it. I wasn't finished with the conversation. OP again. I'm gonna wreck that pussy. This has been a long day, so get ready. Her. Sure, big talker. You'll probably fall asleep early again. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Me, not tonight. Tonight is a good night for fucking and sucking. Kitty hard.
Kitty is wet. This is
Oh.
one point where it is.
Oh yeah, that was pretty much it. Now I don't normally talk like this, and I was just trying to be funny and risque. Is that the word, risque? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
My kids have certainly never heard me say any of those words, but a few minutes later, the wife. Did you know the kids are on your iPad? And did you know
Oh,
your
no.
texts are going to the iPad? Because they just read those messages.
Oh.
I have no idea how to look them in the eyes when I get home. My precious 12-year-old daughter thinks I'm a degenerate. All three of them will be telling their spouses about this someday. It's like I just created a lifelong memory, just like we all have certain memories from our childhood we don't want to have. And I think
kids are
this title should have
traumatized.
been Today I Fucked.
Today I put my kids in therapy.
Today y'all gonna have a sibling. That's gotta be a shirt, right? Tonight is a good night for fucking and sucking.
Oh, god damn.
I'm gonna rent that pussy.
I will say, I don't know how many stories we've read where it's just like, I didn't know the messages went to the iPad.
Yeah,
Or-
but usually it's a cheating story.
That's usually,
The
yeah,
iPad,
yeah. Yeah. So it's crazy how many
Oh.
people don't know that. You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
God damn. That's crazy.
Kitty wrecked.
Kitty wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Belle for subscribing for 12 months. Said, love you boys. Wish I had more time to tune in. Crying
Shout out
face.
Belle. With that membership, you have all the time in the world, Belle.
And then shout out Jasmine O, gifted 5 memberships. So if you received a membership, shout out to Jasmine.
Thank you, Jasmine.
And Dino BS says, oh, thanks, Josh, by the way, for getting that rich Twitch bitch role on Discord.
That's tight.
That would be
That's a sick ass name. Yeah, hell yeah. Oh shit.
All right.
Mom, can I have mac and cheese for dinner? You're already making some.
Why is dad asleep?
Oh, God.
That's a healthy relationship.
Seems
By
like
the
for
sound of it,
sure.
anyway.
Hell yeah. They're still active, baby. Love to see 20 years, 3 kids.
Hell yeah.
Keep that fire light up.
All right. So this is the last one. And full disclosure, I have not read this one fully through. So I don't know where this will go. It's from r/relationship advice from Answer Me This 2021. Title is it weird that my 32 female husband, 32 male, intentionally pointed out our Ring camera to his female coworker while alone on our porch together?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So my husband intentionally pointed out the Ring camera to his female coworker while alone on the porch together.
I don't know if that's weird yet because I've probably done that because we have a bunch in our backyard too.
Mm.
And if we have guests over, just like, hey, just want to let you know there's one in these directions.
If you're going to
Just-
do something degenerate, don't do it in these points.
Yeah. I mean, there could be slightly suspicious, but then again, if they're being creepy, then they wouldn't have disclosed that, right? Because they were hoping, or maybe they're already like kind of together. Just be like, hey, don't do this shit in the backyard because we will get caught type of sitch.
Could be that.
So I don't know.
All right. So trying to condense this down as much as humanly possible here. We had a small get-together this past Saturday evening with several of my husband's coworkers. One of his coworkers is an attractive girl. Let's call her Jess. My husband has a group chat with himself, Jess, and 2 other coworkers that he's close with. I'm 7 months postpartum, and while I've lost some of the baby weight, I'm still struggling with the body changes having a second child brings. It's also worth mentioning that I have struggled with Jess and her being good friends with my husband. She's very attractive. Her presence spotlights my insecurities. And even though I've never had a specific reason not to like her, she makes me feel uneasy. I have voiced my uneasiness to my husband.
Sorry, I laughed a little bit. Amber Janae on Patreon says, "Who's that bitch? It's Jess."
Good show.
Great show.
My husband has been very forthcoming about some of the content of their group chat or their conversation from going out to lunch together. He sees this woman every day. She's split from her husband and has been sleeping with multiple men that they work with, some of whom are also married. I've tried to be friendly with her, and I've really tried to put my own insecurities aside when dealing with her. I felt as though we were making decent progress up until Saturday. I spent the first 3 hours of our party holding our 7-month-old, and finally he fell asleep. I laid him down in his room and stepped outside to grab a drink from the cooler on our porch. When I opened the door, I realized that my husband and Jess were sitting alone together on the porch. I clammed up and immediately shut the door and tried to play it off like I was not bothered. They came back in shortly thereafter, and I went back outside alone to collect my thoughts. It struck me that I could pull the Ring camera footage, and I opened the app to do so. My husband walked outside while I was sifting through the Ring camera and became extremely upset with me, stating that what I was doing was unfair and that it showed him that I did not trust him. A 20-minute argument ensued. Well, yesterday I finally watched the Ring camera footage. My husband had stepped outside to vape, and she followed suit. She comes outside and the motion triggered the camera. She says something small about how she wanted to come sit on the porch for a few minutes. Before she says anything else, he looks at her and says, "Although I don't know how wide that lens reaches, but there are probably just plumes of smoke hitting the camera and the sound of me coughing." She starts laughing and then looks dead at the camera. Her demeanor shifts drastically and she doesn't continue talking, or at least not that was picked up by the camera. The footage ends there and only resumes when he stands up to get a drink, which was after I opened and closed the door. I'm not trying to overthink this. I asked him last night if he could understand how him specifically calling out the camera to her before she says much was very weird. He says he agrees that it was weird of him to do, but that he did it out of fear that I would be upset over something. I'm feeling heartbroken at a complete loss of words. The last time I had an experience even remotely like this was with my ex, who was in fact cheating on me at the time. And that's the end. There is an edit, but that's the end of the...
Oh, even though, let's say your wife trusts, or the wife trusts the husband, OP does not trust Jess. And it seems like there's a good reason for that. If there is a pattern, if there's a history of her sleeping with coworkers who happens to be in the same circle as her husband, and she's sleeping with married people, and she's willy-nilly doing that shit. And I feel like your husband's behavior is also pretty weird to point that. Again, I understand if it's just like, hey, just a disclosure, there's a camera here. But with everything that's included in this story and how Jess be acting, I trust your gut, OP.
Yeah.
There's something shady going on in this shit.
It's definitely weird. And like, yeah, you shouldn't just be okay with that.
Yeah.
Especially if she's like sleeping with multiple coworkers that are married.
Yeah.
Like that's like, okay, your husband should clock that and be like, all right, I'll put up boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, and I should be like, I shouldn't have to be asked. Like this person clearly has no like boundaries, and like the men in your office suck. that's crazy.
And I think like just allowing her to still be in that flirtatious nature, to me, that's like opening the door for the potential that cheating could occur. Because you know that she's willing to stoop to that level, and it's like you get closer to her, that's a possibility. And it seems like your coworker group are already there. So like, you might get influenced, my guy. So I think cheaters are gonna cheat, in my opinion. But like, you're definitely letting the door open.
Yeah, because it's one thing, like to trust your husband, obviously, but like he's putting himself in a situation where it's like he didn't need to put himself in that situation.
Yeah,
and it's like very, very weird for me. And Rose in Concrete 75 says, I think it's weird, and I think she is sleeping around. I think if she's sleeping around with other colleagues, including married ones, it makes sense for you to be uneasy. I would not want my husband hanging out with her socially unless work demanded it. And if you feel a way about it, trust your gut. Your husband should create boundaries and prioritize your family, which I think is a fair, ad. And
a decent partner would have cut her off from the jump. Just like, it's like, oh yeah, this is not the type of person I want to be around. I don't want my wife feeling some type of way because this is weird behavior.
Same with the cheating men in the office. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're also in the group chat, but I just also would not hang out with those people as well. And D. Kesh said, don't try to be the cool wife. I have no idea if they're sleeping together, but you sense closeness that makes you feel threatened, and your husband appears to be nothing to make you feel better, but also senses a closeness he knows is inappropriate. So then OP Ed did an edit to add, I shed so many tears last night after our conversation. I feel more insecure and uneasy than ever before. I told him that this has ripped a hole in our trust and that him being hyper defensive about it initially felt like he was hiding something.
Yep.
He swears up and down that he loves me and our sons, and that there's nothing inappropriate going on between him and Jess. So,
you know what a non-cheater would have done? They would have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that it looked like that. That was not the case. But the defensive part, you hiding shit, brother.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, I don't know. I just think if you're like your wife brings up that she's uneasy with this person, it's pretty easy to be like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to distance myself.
Cut her off. Yeah, exactly.
I can understand in this scenario why you would feel that way. She is actively sleeping with married people in our office. I won't hang out with her or the married people in our office that are sleeping with her because that's just not, not healthy relationships to be around in general.
Oh.
All right. That is that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, John. I left it on a bad note today.
Thought there was an update.
No, there wasn't.
Damn it!
Just that edit. There might be someday. Who knows? That was posted yesterday. So,
I mean, Quinn on our Patreon put, "Why are you basically choosing our friendship over your wife?" That's like the thank you for that question. That's what it is at that point.
Yeah. Man, that's it though. Sorry to leave you on a sad note. I should have saved the Home Depot one to the end.
It's okay, but I mean, let's kind of end it. We got like a few minutes to kill. Like, WikiManiacs, anything y'all want to talk about, bring up? Because Josh is gonna be pretty busy after this, so we're gonna try to keep it a little short.
Yeah, I gotta still edit Friday's episode, which we have a guest.
We do. Basically Canadian. It's Linz,
True.
Mama Linz. She's from Minnesota. So one of our OGs, Cultivate podcast fam, Mama. We love Linz. She's so unhinged. She's pretty. We're pretty mellow in like in this episode. Yeah, but she's from Ye Old Crime. Such an awesome podcast. One of the OG crew of the Cultivate podcast network. So
absolutely,
shout out Linz.
I haven't edited the episode yet, but I imagine it's a good episode. So I'm putting that out there.
Mary Gets 2011 asks about paranormal experiences. I don't think I've discussed them. Oh yeah, in the Philippines. I live in the Philippines. Like my whole town was in the path of the Bataan Death March when the Japanese like took over Philippines for a little bit during World War II. We dug up so much bones in our backyard. So got so much like paranormal experiences there. I used to ghost hunt for fun back then. I stayed in the Whaley house overnight, didn't see shit. But the graveyard next door to the Whaley house, I've experienced some stuff, so that was fun. Also did an abandoned mental health asylum in San Diego that was closed out for a little bit. Had a security guard buddy who let us stay there overnight, and I'm pretty sure I got asbestos poisoning there in the past, but it is what it is. That was fun stuff.
Except for the asbestos.
No, I didn't really get it, but it's just like that place looked like I can get a tetanus, like asbestos, everything. It was scary. These motherfuckers had me stay by myself, and I was like, okay, I did it anyway.
I unfortunately, or fortunately, have never had one. Don't really believe in it personally, but I never yuck anyone's yum. I'm open to the possibility. Dino BS said y'all gotta let me know when we're running a D&D for you guys. Sometime maybe. I know Sean really wants to.
I want to experience it.
Yeah, I think you would love D&D.
So do you like role play characters? Like you get to like immerse yourself to that character?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I know. I think you would. I think you should be a halfling bard or something.
I mean, I'm built like a halfling, so let's do that shit. Caitlin says Juliet cooking Patreon. Unfortunately, I'm gonna suggest it, but this girl has a full-time job. She's also in full-time school, and she's a busy bee. So I don't know how she does it, to be honest. She's just a superwoman at this point.
Do John cooking, and it's just terrible recipes.
Actually, I've actually like asked if I could just like, be around in the kitchen when she's making stuff too, because I also want to learn. Like yesterday, like we made salmon curry, like a salmon red curry yesterday, or I think salmon curry yesterday. I was making stuff. She was supervising the fuck out of me. She's like, "Oh, put it this way, put it here." I'm like, okay, but it's just a shared experience that we can do together.
Yeah. That's like Sienna and I. The opposite though. I'm more of the chef. And so like whenever she's helping me out, I'm like, yeah, can you cut these up or something like that? But when it's baking, it's the other way around. She's a very good baker.
I prepped the fuck out of that garlic and shallots though, and I stirred the shit out of that curry for a long period of time.
Hell yeah.
It turned out good though. It turned out really good.
Yeah, that's good. Bexy Girl Magic said, subbed for 3 months and said, I posted a message on the subreddit for John to read. Do you think you could read it for the boys someday?
Which one? What's it called?
Just if you post it on the Discord, just tag John on it.
Yeah.
He'll be able to see it then.
Okay. John cooking stereotypical white people food. My God, I think I would throw a bitch fit white people taco
night. That would be
night.
Such a good show if I cooked white people food for you guys.
Christ, if you serve me white people taco night, I think I will fight.
That would be so funny.
If I see motherfucking old El Paso in the table, I am throwing bottles.
I'm gonna do beans on toast.
Fuck no.
That's good. We got to do that someday. Maybe once John or like Sean doesn't have a full-time job, we just we fly out and do a week of it or something.
Dude, that is like my dream. I would just like fucking fly to you guys all the time.
Hell yeah.
That'd be so fun. Josh trying to cook Filipino food. I think you can make lumpia, brother. Like if you can make spring rolls.
Can I make spring rolls though? I don't think I ever have. So
have you ever seen Josh and Mama on TikTok?
I don't think so.
Look it up.
Oh, yes, I have. I have seen them. Yes.
She has like an iron stomach. Like she makes the most, is it the word reprehensible fucking food ever, bro? Like, oh my God. Her salt is like mayonnaise. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop putting mayonnaise on everything.
Hell yeah.
Let me cry.
So sad. Peppers subbed for 4 months and said, I have so many paranormal experiences. If there is interest at all, I would love to send a Google Doc with them all.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, October is coming up and like, we're usually like, a couple weeks ahead of like recording schedules. So like, send it around September, and
Yeah.
it'll probably end up in like the October episodes.
Believe in yourself, Josh. I feel I could. Listen, I have grown like quite a bit as a chef over the a chef, quote unquote, like a home chef, just cooking for myself and Sienna over the past 4 years. I think I could like branch out a bit. I just I know what I can make very well, and I kind of just stick to those things. But I wouldn't be opposed to trying like to make some Filipino food.
Ooh,
we could try something like that.
Hell yeah. What else we got?
I don't know, John. You asked the question. Is there any other good questions?
There's a lot going on, and I can't focus on one.
Gwen says, before you leave, Josh, I'm so sorry for the continued performance of the Leafs to crash out. Please hold that feeling to return to me in the next month when the Oilers do the same. I don't know. Okay, I'll go on my hockey rant for a bit here. I had no faith in the Leafs going into Game 7. If anyone knows anything about the Leafs, they've lost 7 Game 7s in the past 8 years or something like that. So I had no faith that was going to happen. I was at the wedding this weekend when it was going on, so I couldn't watch it, which is probably better for myself, my own heart. So yeah, it was funny though, because I was surrounded by a bunch of there was a Habs fan and a Detroit fan, and they just were like, I'm so sorry, man. And I was like, it's fine. I expected this. This is where I live. So I don't know. They'll blow it up next year, I hope, and we'll try again in a few years. Who knows?
I would like to publicly apologize to Josh ahead of time because I made a terrible Leafs pun on Monday's episode, and he has yet to edit it.
Oh, no.
I'm pretty sure he'll throw a middle finger at me while he makes that.
Here's the thing. I actually, this year, and this is probably bad, but I've gotten to the point where it's just apoplectic. Like I just don't feel anything. Like I'm not angry. It's just expected. And I feel that's where the problem is. It's just like, I'm no longer a fan of the team. I'm just like expecting failure, which is a problem, I think, as a fan. You know what I mean? Like I was angry in 2021, 2022, I was upset. 2023, mad, disappointed. 2024, I was mad. I was like, please change something. God, I'm gonna lose my mind. And then this year, I was just like, yeah, whatever. It's gonna happen. So
also, damn well we fucking broke Stevie when she's also making kitty comments now. Stevie, we are not sorry. Kitty, no apologies for you.
Kitty Leafs. But anyway, I do like the Oilers this year. I'm hoping for them as Canada's last team. I do also like Dallas. And then I hope anyone but Florida wins is basically where I'm at. Sorry to the Florida fan I saw in the comments. I apologize, but I hate that team with a passion.
Go Ice Sports.
Go Ice Sports. Yeah, what do we got
Fuck
now?
Dallas. I hate this place.
Great hockey team, though.
Oh,
One of their best players is a Filipino.
oh yeah. But go Dallas Wings. Shout out Paige Beckers.
Oh yeah. That started up this past week or week before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
killing it so
That's
far.
awesome.
Also, Caitlin Clark is owning the league, so I've been enjoying WNBA a lot. They're so fucking good,
Dude, it's on everywhere I look, which is
it's refreshing.
awesome. Yeah.
Love to see it.
Hell yeah. All right, John. Well, I've got to get back to editing. I got to get this episode up too. Oh, here. One last question. John, have you tried cooking a Filipino food? What's your specialty?
None. I eat a lot. I am not great at cooking shit, like at all. I'm a terrible cook.
Okay.
The answer, none.
None. He just eats it.
I just eat it.
Hell yeah. All right, WikiManiacs. Well, we appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us this afternoon. Next week, we're going to be doing a $5 and up stream, I think, on Patreon
Sean is there.
and YouTube member. I think it'll be at night. We usually do those ones. Or night our time anyway. We'll post it. You'll see when it's going to be available. So if you want to check that out, subscribe to Patreon or YouTube, like our membership program, and then we'll be doing that next week.
Yes. And still, if you still want to support us, please be a patron or a YouTube member. You get a lot of access to like bonus stories, bonus episode, bonus live streams for $10 patrons. If you like, cameo requests, if you want us to greet you happy birthday, happy graduation. Some of the people in our Patreon memberships right now are getting some tomorrow. So that's a good bonus. Also, brownies are there as well. Like every Tuesday, Sean and I have a bonus story there, and there's also a bonus live stream coming up. The guys and I are also coming up with a possibly new tier with not new technology, but like new features.
We're inventing technology for this tier.
Technology. We're trying to think of like opening up another thing to have more, more features for you fans, and more like access in terms of like possible live-in calls and all that. So that's in the works. And then if you want to support us too, like we do have merch out right now, Mayflowers, designed by one of our WikiManiacs, Joy. We do have a post on our Patreon channel regarding to what charities we're going to donate half of the profits to this month. So I think Sean's going to decide how that's going to be given out. But thank you to everyone who has purchased so far. And like always, half of that profit is always going to go to a charity of your choice. Patrons, paid members. That's right.
Hell yeah. And just to clarify, Bex, it will be available, like our live stream next Wednesday will be available on both Patreon and YouTube. It'll just be locked behind the paywall. So
yeah,
hope that cleared it up. But with that, we'll close it out. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. And we will see you Thursday.
Be jealous of the food that I'm about to devour right now.
No.
Get there.